Hey, Raiders fans! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. There's a growing storm swirling quietly, or not so quietly, around Geno Smith. And the Las Vegas Raiders, the whispers have turned into murmurs. And those murmurs are beginning to roar in some corners of the NFL media sphere. Word is, Geno Smith isn't happy in Vegas, sources close to the situation, and you know how this works. The ones who usually whisper truths before they go public say Geno believes he's not being valued the way a starting quarterback should be. The vibes inside the Raiders facility off, unsettled. Geno reportedly feels like an outsider looking in, like a placeholder rather than a leader of the franchise. And if that's true, if the team really is treating him like a bridge QB while eyeing someone else for the future, then it's no wonder the guy is looking for a way out. Now, let's be honest. We're not saying this is a full-on confirmed trade demand or anything like that yet. But when a veteran QB like Geno starts to question his standing with the organization, it never stays quiet for long. This could be the first ripple before a much bigger wave crashes into Vegas. And it's not just about feelings or ego here, let's be clear. Geno Smith has worked hard to earn his spot in this league. After years of being overlooked, criticized, even flat-out benched, he clawed his way back into relevance with the Seahawks, proving to everyone, fans, media, even his own coaches, that he could run an offense, win games, and carry himself like a true professional. That wasn't just a fluke, that was a redemption arc. And now, just when it seemed like he had found stability, he's thrust into a new situation where the narrative seems to be resetting again. The Raiders brought him in, sure. But did they really commit to him, or was it all optics, a stopgap, while they search for their next franchise QB? That's the question Geno is reportedly asking himself, and it's one that might lead to some serious consequences if he decides he's had enough. Don't be surprised if this rumor gets louder in the coming days. Where there's smoke in the NFL, there's almost always fire, and Geno might just be fanning the flames himself. Keep in mind, this isn't the first time we've seen a QB feel underappreciated by the Raiders organization. Derek Carr, anyone. That situation spiraled fast. And it ended with Carr in New Orleans and the Raiders scrambling to reset the narrative. The common denominator, a lack of clear, long-term vision. From the front office, players can feel that, quarterbacks especially. They know when they're being courted and when they're being used. Geno's not a rookie. He's seen how these things play out, and word is, he's seeing the signs again. The way the coaching staff talks in pressers, the reps being split in practice, the lack of real endorsement from ownership, it all adds up. And now, the whispers from inside the locker room suggest Geno's camp has already started exploring potential trade options. Again, nothing official, no formal request. But those conversations don't just happen out of nowhere. Someone starts them, someone leaks them. And when that happens, it's usually because someone wants out, quietly, respectfully. But definitively, if you're a Raiders fan, this should raise some eyebrows. Geno might not be your forever quarterback, but losing him could mean a whole new reset. Again, and let's talk about what this says about the Raiders as a franchise. If these reports are true, if Geno Smith, a proven veteran with leadership qualities and a comeback story that resonated across the league, feels unwanted, what kind of message does that send to the rest of the locker room, to free agents, to the fans? It's hard enough building a culture in the NFL. It's even harder when your top players feel disposable. The Raiders already struggle with consistency. They've had coaching shakeups, quarterback changes, drama off the field, you name it. And now this, another potential QB controversy brewing. Right when they should be focused on stability and growth, it's baffling. And if Geno's really planning his exit, it's not just a loss at the QB position, it's a blow to the team's credibility. Remember, this guy chose Vegas. He could have waited, explored other options. But he trusted this front office. And if that trust is broken, it's going to be a tough sell for the next veteran QB who gets a call from the Raiders front office. Reputation matters in this league. The Raiders might be hurting theirs again. Now, let's not pretend Geno is without flaws. He's not Mahomes, he's not Burrow, but what he is competent, steady. A leader who's been through adversity and came out better for it. That's rare in today's NFL. We're young, flashy QBs get the spotlight and veterans often get discarded the moment things don't go perfectly. GENO knows who he is. He's not trying to be the face of the league. He just wants to be respected as the face of the franchise. That's what's at stake here, and if the Raiders can't give him that, if they're entertaining other options behind closed doors, maybe looking at the next draft class or testing trade waters for other names, then it makes sense why GENO would want out. The QB position is about more than just arm strength and playbooks. It's about trust, respect, and leadership. If any one of those breaks down, the whole thing falls apart. So when GENO reportedly says he feels undervalued, it's not just about money or media. It's about feeling like a quarterback worth building around, not just borrowing until someone shinier comes along. You've got to ask yourself, if not GENO, then who? Who's out there right now that the Raiders think can step in and do a better job? Both on the field and in the locker room, are they betting on a rookie? Rolling the dice in next year's draft, because that's a gamble, and Vegas knows all about high-stakes gambles, but this one feels especially risky. You have a QB who knows your system, who's been battle-tested, who wants to be there, or at least wanted to be, and you're not committing to him. It just doesn't add up. And maybe that's why GENO's reportedly had enough. Maybe he's seen this movie before. First you lose the coach's confidence, then you're splitting first-team reps. And before you know it, you're benched for performance reasons that feel more like politics. If GENO's thinking one step ahead, and believe me, he is, then he's already got his eyes on greener pastures, a team that needs a leader, a veteran, someone to stabilize the offense. If the Raiders don't value him, another team surely will. It's just a matter of when, not if, he makes that move. And don't sleep on how this affects the locker room. GENO's not just another guy. He's vocal, respected, and connected. He's built relationships with receivers, linemen, the coaching staff, even fans. If he walks away feeling disrespected, that resonates. That sets a tone. Other players take note. They start wondering who's next. If the team can do that to him, what about me? It creates tension, uncertainty, even division. And the Raiders, a team still trying to find its identity post-Carr, can't afford that kind of instability. The NFL is a business, yes, but it's also a brotherhood. How you treat your veterans says everything about who you are as an organization. And if these Geno Smith rumors hold weight, if he truly feels devalued, unseen, ready to walk, it paints a troubling picture. Not just for this season, but for seasons to come. Vegas needs to be a place where players want to go, right now. With whispers like these circling the facility, it feels more like a revolving door than a destination, and if the Raiders don't address this soon, publicly and decisively, they might lose more than just a quarterback. They might lose the room. Let's get real for a second. Timing is everything in the NFL. And if Geno Smith really is thinking about making a move, this might be the perfect window to do it. We're still in that preseason limbo where rosters are fluid. Injuries start piling up in training camps, and teams begin to realize they might not have the guy they thought they had under center. That's where Geno's value skyrockets. He's healthy, he's experienced, he's plug-and-play in most offensive systems. And you know there are at least a handful of teams, maybe even contenders, that would love a steady QB option heading into the season. If Geno's camp is smart, and all signs suggest they are, they're already feeling out interest across the league. Quiet calls, private texts, nothing official yet, but again, this is how it always starts. Geno might not want to go nuclear, but make no mistake, if he's not valued in Vegas, he's not going to sit around and hope things magically improve. He's going to find a team that values what he brings to the table, and when he does, watch how fast the narrative changes. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. And you know what might be the most ironic part of all this? Geno Smith actually wanted to be in Vegas. This wasn't some last-chance deal where he had no other options. He chose the Raiders. He believed in what the organization was building. The roster had potential. The coaching staff talked a big game about stability and respect. It looked like a place where he could write the next chapter of his comeback, this time with real support. But somewhere along the way, that promise turned hollow. Maybe it was miscommunication. Maybe the team just changed direction. But Geno's desire to be there, that was real. And if he's now planning an exit, it's probably not out of spite. It's out of disappointment. He expected more. And that's what makes this story so frustrating for fans who genuinely believed He could bring some consistency to a team that desperately needed it. GENO wasn't just a stopgap. He was supposed to be the bridge and the anchor. Now, it's looking like the bridge is crumbling, and the anchor might be thrown overboard. That's not just a personnel misstep, that's a vision problem. And it might cost the Raiders more than they realize. If this story keeps building, and all signs suggest it will, don't be surprised if we start hearing unnamed sources from inside the Raiders building leak details to soften the blow. That's how these things usually go. First comes the denial. We value GENO. We see him as part of our plans. Then come the subtle jabs, comments about leadership, style, fit in the system, or internal competition. The goal, shift the narrative, make it seem like GENO is the one causing tension. But anyone paying attention will see right through that. This isn't a diva moment. This is a professional athlete, in the final chapters of his career, asking for honesty and respect. If the team isn't fully committed to him, that's fine. Just don't pretend otherwise. Because the longer this drags out, the more damage it does to everyone involved. Fans get confused. Players lose focus. The media spirals into speculation. And the locker room, it loses trust. This could have been a quiet, respectful parting if handled correctly. Now, it's snowballing into a story that can hang over the entire season. And at the center of it all is a quarterback who just wanted what every player deserves: clarity, respect, and purpose. And let's zoom out for a second, because the implications of this go way beyond just GENO Smith and the Raiders. What we're watching is part of a broader pattern in today's NFL. Veteran quarterbacks, especially those without superstar contracts or MVP trophies, are increasingly being treated like temporary patches, not long-term partners. The moment there's a younger option, or even a slightly more athletic option, these veterans get pushed to the sidelines. And while football is a business, it's also a team sport, and teams are built on trust. GENO's story is part of a bigger message being sent across the league. If you're not in the top 5 QB list, your job is never safe. Doesn't matter how hard you work, how much you mentor younger players, or how steady your presence is. The moment you become replaceable, you're already halfway out the door. That's what makes this GENO Smith situation so relatable to fans and players alike. He's not flashy. He's not a headline chaser. He just wants to do the job, do it well, and be respected for it. And if that can't happen in Vegas, then you better believe he'll find somewhere it can, and soon. So now we wait. The ball is in the Raiders' court, at least publicly. Do they come out and commit to GENO? Do they silence the rumors and make it clear he's the guy moving forward? Or do they let this tension keep bubbling, knowing full well what happens next? Because here's the truth. GENO Smith isn't going to go quietly, not this time. He's been too patient for too long. If he's truly made the decision that he's being undervalued, and sources say that's exactly how he feels, then it's only a matter of time before this story explodes. Maybe it's a trade, maybe it's a dramatic benching, maybe it's a surprise retirement that catches everyone off guard, but something is coming. GENO doesn't leak stories just to stir the pot. He's thinking strategy. He's playing chess, not checkers. And the Raiders, they better start thinking a few moves ahead, too. Because if they let this spiral, if they mishandle this situation, like they have others before, they might not just lose their quarterback. They might lose credibility, again, and in a league that remembers everything. That kind of mistake doesn't just haunt you for one season, it follows you for years. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.